Yeah, I agree. Our speaker is Ádám Wittmann. Adam is in the automotive industry, software industry for more than 7 years now. His focus is on ensuring project delivery and meeting project goals while building and keeping sustainably working teams. Working for 5+ years in the driver assistance field, he has background in software development, team coaching, and technical leadership, delivering road safety features to several manufacturers. Currently, he is leading a group of 15 people focusing on behavior prediction of traffic participants. The title of the talk, Healthy Teams, the Practice Behind the Buzzword. Please welcome on stage with a huge round of applause, Ádám Wittmann.
Hey, hey, good afternoon. Hands up if you can hear me. Very good. All right, so today I'm going to talk a bit about, not the theory. I'm sure that we all know more or less the theory, how to make a good, healthy team, a high-performing team. There are a couple of presentations out there which is about this, engineering leadership. Today I'm not going to say anything which is novel, which is a very new thing. I'm just going to tell a story, what I was doing, what we were doing in the last couple of months, years at Bosch, to, let's say, revolutionize and change a bit of our culture, how our teams are working. So, who knows what BYD is? The Chinese car maker, yeah? There's a factory being built up in Szeged, in Hungary. We didn't know what was going on 5 years ago with BYD. Nobody knew. Right now, what we see that the classical, let's say, German, European, let's say, car industry is in kind of a, I would say, under challenge, under push from, for example, Chinese car makers, not only car makers, but also tier 1 suppliers like Bosch. We are challenged by other new companies coming to our market who are quicker, faster, obviously more cheap, and sometimes even providing a bit more function than we are able to provide. Then what does it mean to us? We need to think if we are doing everything right and if we are doing the right things. And these are the two stuff that I believe a company should focus on when they want to improve their competitiveness. So what is to do the right things? This is our products, our radars, cameras, central computers, any kind of product that the company sells or what Bosch sells. And of course, to make sure that they are competitive, they have the best functionality, the best quality, they have the lowest price, which is not always what it is. But that's the two things right. Today, I'm not going to talk about this, but to do the things right. This is about how we develop them, how we produce them, how we handle our development processes, how we handle our teams. And this is the most important thing to me, teams. Because we need the teams to be high-performing, to be healthy, to know their processes, to know how they want to develop, and to optimize their output. Of course, again, these are buzzwords, which we know from the last couple of years, because this was quite popular, let's say. Yeah, so that's why I want to talk about this, and how we make sure that this doesn't only happen for one team, but others as well. OK, so why do teams suffer? I don't know how it is in your organization. I see quite a lot of teams not working at their optimum. There are some significant problems which hinders the output of the development. If you're working in Scrum, I'm not sure how many times at the end of the sprint you are reaching that you're completing all the story points and you have a full green KPI chart. We don't usually have it. So that's one point that teams suffer. But what could be the root cause of it? Probably, I don't know, bad processes, micromanagement, or lack of management. Probably it's just bad team setup. Probably the team doesn't have the right responsibility. They don't feel the ownership. Or they are just at the beginning of that team dynamics. If you consider Tuckman's model, they're in the forming, storming phase. Of course not. of course, then they are not performing well. OK, but the next question is how to change it. If I am a team leader, I can change it for my team. If I'm a team leader in a department and I see other teams suffering, I can step there that, hey, bro, let me help you with my experience. When I am at an organization of, let's say, 900 software developers, and I feel that things are not going well, this is not working out. This is not working out to go there to everywhere, to everyone, and say that, hey, I help you, hey, I help you. There's just one person, a couple of people are not able to do this. But who is then the responsible for a team's life, how a team's working? This is the team leader, I believe, or the Scrum Master, or whatever you call it. That's all person who has the responsibility for the team's output. And yes, I say that probably team leaders are the root cause why teams are suffering. And here I'm not pointing out that team leaders are bad people, or they are not doing their work right. Of course, they try to strive. They try to do their best. It's just not an easy thing to manage a team very well, to be a high-performing team. But just coming back, why team leaders are not at their best? Why they are not able to tackle all the challenges? Here is my question. If any of you happen to be a team leader, when did you learn how to lead a team? Or when you are in a new position, when do you learn how to do that position, how to do that job? Before you get the job? Exactly at the time when you get promoted? Or 1.5 years later? Probably that's the answer, yes. When I was a Scrum Master, same stuff. I was doing development stuff. I had some, let's say, courage or curiosity how to lead a team. And then my manager said, hey, Adam, do you want to be the next Scrum Master? And I was like, OK. Then I applied for a Scrum Master training. Half a year later, I could go to the Scrum Master training. I got the basics. I could read Wikipedia articles and everything on the internet. Probably I knew the theory. But when it comes to, let's say, a low performer, how to handle that person, probably I read it. But I honestly didn't have the courage to go there and say what I was reading on the internet. Because I didn't know how to do it. I was afraid what will be the consequence, how that person will react. So I believe that here, team leaders need pretty much support, and support doesn't mean a training in half a year, or some line manager who is checking on every second week or every once in a month to check, hey, how you are doing it, and then have a half-an-hour coaching session, and then, yeah, I have 20 other people to do with. So that doesn't seem to be enough to me. So yeah, I believe this is the very good question. And then in 1.5 years, when you become more confident in leading a team, probably in 2-3 years, and when you are doing your work well, what happens? What happens if you're doing your work well? There's your line manager. Hey, aren't you interested in a promotion? Who am I to say no to a promotion? Probably, yeah, I'm saying that, yeah, I want to make more money. I want to have more responsibility. Then, again, there is a team without an experienced team leader. So that's why I believe we need to support team leaders very, very much. So I was thinking about that and just grabbed a couple of experienced colleagues of mine. And I was thinking that, OK, we read a lot of articles, went to many trainings. We know how Bosch is operating. So let's put down on what we experience, what we know. And this is what we called the, let's say, healthy team cornerstones. There are 4 of them and 1 extra, which we believed that, yes, they are the minimum necessary, but not enough criteria to have a healthy team. The first is to understand when do we need big teams, when do we need small teams, and how to manage them. What kind of people are needed in a small team, like 3-4 people in a team? Do we need here real team players or guys who can save the world alone? Or in big teams, when 10, 11, 12 people, it's a completely different thing. What kind of people you need and how you need to manage them. Next point, depending on how big team you have, you probably need a, let's say, basic matrix, which defines the responsibilities. What is the job of a Scrum Master, a team leader, a product owner, lead engineer, senior architect, feature owner? I don't know how many different names I can list up, but that's also important. And we believe that here there is also a minimum criteria which needs to be fulfilled. OK, the next topic is no healthy team without a specific goal. I believe this is a thing that many people and many teams forget. First, forget to define, forget to understand why it is important. And then, even if they define, probably they forget throughout the months, years, why do we exist? What is our ultimate goal? Why are we existing together as a team? This is very important because this can actually enhance ownership. That yes, we are working for the same goal. We are working for together. We are in the same boat. And the fourth point, actually, which we actually struggle the most, what it means, it's the, let's say, end-to-end responsibility. To me, end-to-end responsibility means that when you are developing a piece of code, or a code chunk, or a functionality, OK, then you have the pull request, then you have the review criteria, the reviews, then you fix the findings, and then you merge the pull request. Probably you even take care of the TPIs, KPIs, that your software is not worse than before, it has better performance, better memory consumption, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, but this is not end-to-end responsibility. End-to-end responsibility is when you understand what you do, how it affects the others around, the other team. If it helps them, or if it is a big problem for them, let's say a pain in the back thing. And this is what I call end-to-end responsibility, to be responsible for what you are doing and for that effects. And when you have all in all this, we really recommend to create a team credo. A team credo, what we call is the, let's say, foundation document of a team, which lays down how the team works together. This is something the team needs to define for themselves. With those people who are in the team, they define it for themselves, then you can make them accountable for a team credo, for those rules, because they said what they want to do, how they want to develop. So, it happened a couple of months before, even a year before probably. And we were like, yeah, we did our job. We're very proud. We put it down. Now everybody can read it in the organization of 900 people. You can imagine how many internal wiki pages are existing for an organization of 900 people. And how likely is that people will find it? No, it's not. So I must have made the question, is it a visibility project, what we have done? Or is it really a practical change? Yes, probably it was a visibility project. And probably some of us will get some promotions, and we will have good images of us in the higher management that, yeah, we are dealing with it. But this will not change the organization. And this was our ultimate goal. Let's say this was the specific goal our little team was existing in the beginning. So we needed to realize we need a practical change. And how can we reach a practical change? To change the culture. For 900 people, you need to start changing the culture. Again, this is not something that can easily be done. Probably you can find Wikipedia articles, or, I don't know, ask some perfect presenters here. What is the theory? Yeah, but then how to break it down to step by step. My vision and my experience is that you need to find some followers. You need to convince people who think that you are right, that I am right. Let's say to be the candle, who can light up some other candles in the organization, other teams, team leads, let's say. And when they understand it, then they can light up again 2, 3 candles. And this way, let's say, the penetration into the organization can happen a bit more easily, and actually can happen. So from now on, I'm going to talk about really the practical things which I promised in the title. What we actually did to try to penetrate into the organization with this idea to make the teams healthier. Of course, I was talking about that, no? But yeah, you need an internal wiki or source of knowledge where you can go back, which is your homepage, which is your home base, which you can refer to. Hey, then what we were talking about, let's read it. Everything is there, and if you have questions, blah, blah, blah. OK, everybody's knowing it. Let's get further. We started to organize also roundtable discussions, also presentations or internal workshops for team leads, for even project leads, or anybody who's interested, and started to share good practices. I wouldn't say best practices. It's just good, not the best. Yeah, what we are doing, how we are handling teams, or how we are handling the difficult situations in the teams to enhance them, to make them more profitable, to have higher performance in them. And actually, it was surprisingly good and surprisingly welcome. So I was very happy for that. But to really go down to the field, and this is what I believe is the most important, to have coaching and mentoring for the team leads. And this is extremely important for the team leads and not for the teams. You want the team leads to be able to manage their teams right. So let's say teach them how to fish and not give them fish. So yeah, so far, I personally dealt with 3 teams. The mentoring with the 2 of them, or the leads of 2 of them, were quite successful. I would say they could reach their goal. They could get over of their problematic situation. Actually, the 3rd one not. But the reason was because that team was actually dissolved, because the project ended before time. But let me share you a couple of examples, what I learned during these mentorings. I wouldn't say coaching. I am not a coach. I haven't attended any coaching sessions or trainings, but I have coached colleagues who know it better and who can do this thing. I would rather say I'm a good mentor. But what we learned. So I will mention the 3, let's say, most common and most important things that I learned. First, what I talked in the beginning, Scrum Masters and team leaders are shy. Yes, at the beginning, myself was also shy. When somebody is a junior in a position, probably they don't have the courage. Some of them, yes. But I see it surprisingly many times. Just because team leaders are usually engineers, and engineers, yeah, they are more analytical, and sometimes the rational things are not usually working out in people management, because we people work not or behave not so, let's say, rational than the software. Probably we give different reactions to the same input. I don't know. Yeah, but that was actually the first thing. The second, and this is a bit more interesting, and I believe that it's a more, let's say, juicy, how to handle low performance. My catch here is it's not easy. We really need to be consequent, objective, fact-based with low performers. But first, we need to understand what is the reason of the low performance. There could be several reasons. Of course, one is probably, let's say, mental limitations. Okay, somebody is not so clever as their job would require. OK, we cannot really do much about that. Then we probably recommend the job shift or to a simpler project or whatever it is. Probably there's no willingness to be a high performer. This is where management comes in, and when you can really tackle with other kinds of benefits, with other kind of motivators. You need to find then the motivation of the person, why they cannot or they don't want to perform better. Or probably there is a mental or a psychological limit. Probably they are in negative self-confidence spiral because of whatever reason. Probably it has also personal reasons which is not even connected to work. Then again, you need to handle it differently. So that's why I'm saying this is not straightforward how to handle low performance, but one thing is very much sure. You need to be straight, fact-based, and clearly let the person know that you are not doing the minimum thing. And they need to know. And I believe that many times we forget it, or we make the mistake that, hey, yeah, somebody is low performer, and we say that, yeah, what you did is not bad, it was okay. Actually, you are doing very, very bad things, but if you improve yourself, then it will be okay. So we don't give a harsh and very straight feedback. But this talk is not about low performance, so let's jump on. And the third thing that I want to mention is lack of ownership. When somebody is just, I don't know, probably you also know colleagues outside of your organization, because of course your organization is almost perfect. But you know colleagues who are coming into the office from 8 to 4, 8 to 5, and when the clock rings, then pop, bye, I went home. And actually, it's not a bad thing. But usually, this comes with lack of ownership. What does it mean, lack of ownership? I don't care about my task. If I get a task, I want to get rid of it. Because I don't know why I'm doing it. Because it's just not interesting to me, or my focus is completely elsewhere, or I don't care about my teammates. Because then, if I'm not doing my tasks well, then my teammates will suffer more. Again, lack of ownership also could have several reasons, but it's kind of, I would say, a bit easier to handle than low performance. Probably they are too far from the real customer, so invite them for a customer call and let them see, let them feel what their lack of ownership causes for the customer or for other stakeholders within the project, within the company. Invite them for an internal reporting with the project management, and they see that what they are doing is, or what they are not doing because of the lack of ownership. Yeah, this causes very bad moments for the PO, for the team lead, for the organization. And my experience is that with these little tricks, you can increase the engagement really much. So this was about the experience in coaching or mentoring. But as I mentioned, one person cannot really change an entire organization. And I was feeling that, yeah, I need somehow to scale it up. That I'm not only mentoring a couple of guys, but I collect more coaches, more mentors around me, and then we are leveling it up for the whole organization. And I needed allies. I needed support. Usually people don't like HR. I don't know if there are HR people here. When HR is coming, then yeah, something bad will happen, most likely. Actually, HR can be a very, very good support, very good ally, because they have the power, they have the resources, and they have the ability to really change a bit the organization. What I'm talking now is about organizational development. This is one of the tasks of HR. So they are the excellent supporters for me. And then actually what is happening now, what I mentioned, I believe that coaching is one of the most important things, or mentoring, one of the most important things, how you can change a culture, how you can really penetrate into the culture. And right now, we are redefining our internal coaching processes. Yes, because we have a process for internal coaching as well. We are a German company. We have process for everything. I was surprised that we have a process for that. We have even internal criteria, who can be a coach, which is even a bit almost as strict as to have the international coach, I don't know, nomination, whatever it is. Anyway, I was feeling that this is kind of too much, and this way we'll have no people who want to do coaching or who want to do mentoring. So we needed to redefine it. We needed to open it up a bit more to those people who are willing to and happy to share their experience, help other people, not only in the classical coaching, let's say, fields, but in team leadership coaching. Yep. So we are shortly coming to an end, because it's not a very long talk. But to sum it up, I would like to highlight 3 things. One of them is what is important in doing the things right. So how we are doing the development, how we are doing our job is how well we care about our teams, how much we take care about them, the team leaders. And if an organization is only focusing on high level or leadership or for line managers and for everyone who has the manager word in the title, or do we really focus on leadership, team leaders? Because I believe that team leaders are classically the backbone of our company, and team leaders are the backbone and the most important people in our efficiency, in our team efficiency and development efficiency. Yeah, the next thing, I needed to make a cultural change to increase the efficiency, to transform teams to healthy teams, to high-performing teams, especially in a wide company in an organization of 900 people. And then last but not least, for every project like this, you need allies who help you, because alone, you cannot really change a whole world. You need believers, you need supporters, you need basically anyone who has the power, who has the ability, who has the willingness to help you for that, let's say, greater good, or for that purpose that you are working for. Thank you very much for listening on my presentation. If you have any questions, post it on Slido.
Q&A time. I have information that we already have a few questions, yes, but you still have a chance to ask them. So ask away. Here's the QR code, and we will see those questions on our screen very shortly, any second now. It's very exciting. Yes. Oh, because this one is off? Oh, because it's still your presentation. That's OK. I can see it from here as well. Are you ready for the first one? Oh, but you're not going to hear it. Definitely. Can we get the Slido on this screen, please? Yes, perfect. Hey. Thank you very much. OK, first question. Can you explain, and this is from Morning Sleepyhead, can you explain with your own words what is the difference between coaching and mentoring? You seem to use them interchangeably.
That's true. I use them, let's say, quite close to each other or in the same sentence. To me, they are very different. Mentoring is when you have the experience of that specific field where you want to help, and then you are giving advice. Or if I'm the mentor, I am giving advices. I tell what you should do. In this situation, do this, or do this, or do this, because my experience says that this will help. Coaching is something different. For coaching, you don't need, or I don't need to be an expert in that field. For coaching, I'm asking questions. Asking questions from that person, from the coachee, which are leading them to answer these questions themselves. And if I'm making the right questions, then they start think about what is the answer for that. And once they answer it, they will know what to do. Coaching is way more difficult than mentoring.
OK, thank you. Next question is from Ferenc Hegedűs. What is your opinion about international online teams versus teams with colleagues at the same location working together personally?
OK, I will be very harsh. 2 weeks ago, I was in Stuttgart at our headquarters, because in my group there are 8 people in 4 different teams whose leadership are all in Germany. I hate it. I hate it. This is something which is an awful and I think not an efficient thing. Actually, for that week, when we were in Germany, with all my developers, they said that, yeah, it's so much easier to work. I mean, I'm just there, yeah, and then turn around. Hey, can we discuss it? Yeah, in 5 minutes, they were good. When you are in Hungary or even in home office, then you type them in Teams or in your internet chat. Yeah, probably they don't answer. Probably they say it, but I'm in another thing, so I will not answer it. and then there is an idle time, of course, half an hour, 1 hour, or if you just directly call them, probably they don't answer. I don't like it. I don't like it. Even if we have, let's say, international online teams, a regular face-to-face meeting is necessary, is absolutely mandatory, and this is one of the drawbacks of COVID, that we believed that we can work sustainably, healthy, online only. I am a strong not believer in it, actually. This, to me, if I could choose it, this is no-go.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. Is it only the team leader's scope to set the cornerstones, or it's a team's effort and culture?
I would say it's up to the team leader how she or he makes sure that these cornerstones are set up. I would say it's the team leader's responsibility, but it's not necessarily the team leader's tasks to do this. If there's a more mature team, yeah, you can call them and invite them to define our cornerstones, so define our rules. If there are, like, I don't know, 5 junior developers and almost 7 people, and you call them that, hey, let's define how we work together, they will see that come 9 to 5 every morning, stand up, and they will have no clue because they will have no experience. This really depends on the team's, let's say, maturity or setup.
All right. Next question. If I understood you correctly, tech people being promoted into Scrum Masters, not a tech lead in the team?
So if I'm understanding this question right, is that, yeah, so technical people or developers could be promoted or are promoted to Scrum Masters because probably they have some motivation for it. I don't believe that a technical lead could be a good Scrum Master. Sometimes a technical lead is nominated as a Scrum Master because you are the best, you know the processes, and you know the product best, and then you will be it. But in a wide organization like ours, I see it very much differently, even different between departments. And we have, I don't know, 20, 25 departments, so quite a lot.
Okay. Another one came in. Okay, let's get rolling. What do you do to avoid people becoming heroes within the team, to avoid hero culture?
That's an excellent question. I must be honest, I don't have right now a $1 million answer out of my pocket. So probably for that, I would recommend to go online and read some articles. Or there's Joseph Perlin, if you know him, probably he has way more experience in that. What I would do is to understand them, why they are a hero, why they want to work as a hero, probably because they fear that others are stupid. And yes, I met people like this, that, yeah, I don't involve them because it just takes more time. We need to make them understand that they are not irreplaceable, and that alone they cannot save the whole world. Because then for a product which has, I don't know, millions of lines of codes, because our cameras or radars have millions of lines of codes, he just cannot do this. Or she.
All right. It could be the last question. We'll see.
All right.
Have you had experience to integrate people with special needs, for example, Asperger or ADHD, etc.?
Not yet. I know this shouldn't be a short answer, but not yet. So this is a
All right. Any other questions? You still have a chance. You don't want to go home thinking, oh, I should have asked it, because you're never going to have another chance at that. OK. OK. Phones are not moving anymore, so it means that comprehensive questions, or there's one, but you never know why the phone is out. Comprehensive answers. Thank you very much. Very interesting topic. A huge round of applause to our speaker. Thank you.